Oh, she messaged. Ollie said, Lulu is so fucking pretty, but also, holy shit, why do you and your mods keep running and finding my fans? Even I don't know. That's true. I'm like, you know, Ollie, I swear to God, this bitch, I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna first tell you guys a story and then I'm gonna complain about Ollie. Keep me on track because my brain is like all over the place right now. Basically, I asked help to get merch for Ollie, right? Because in a lot of events, every time we go to any events, I see a lot of Ollie merch or like a lot of people that say they love Ollie. And then I remembered basically 2 months ago, I was talking to Ollie and Ollie was like going through her moments. You know what I mean? I swear every people have this phase where they think they're shit, right? It's like a period in like, I don't know. It happens once every now and then. They're like, am I really doing a good job? You know, like they sit there and they just be doubters. Or like, maybe I suck, right? I was like, no, like a lot of people love you. And she's like, no, I just feel like, you know, I just feel like I'm not doing good enough and all blah, 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 blah. And she starts yapping about shit. And I'm like, you know what? I have off Kai soon. Let me see if my mods are interested. So then I pitch this over to my mods and they're like, we would love to help you like get these merch, etc., during the event. And I'm like, that would be amazing. I would appreciate that a lot. Also, talking about that, Lulu, I've paid you back, right? Remind me. What was I talking about? Ollie. Wait, but I have paid you back. I swear. Be sure you did. Okay, you know what? They did something good. We'll take that. We'll take that as a W. Okay, good. At least they paid someone. Great! What the fuck? No way they paid someone. No way, guys. That's crazy. This might be cause for celebration. The fact that Gray didn't wait a second to do that.
Lulu instead of you.
You know what? That's fair and that's worth it. I appreciate that. You know what? Thank you. Last company. I can't. The fact that Gray didn't even wait a second to just say like, at least they paid someone. Oh my god. Money? Shut up, Chad. You're fucking insane. Oh. So basically, they were like, yeah, we're so down to help. So I'm like, sick. And then we got a bunch of merch. And I was like, this is going to be a surprise.
We take those. A win is a win.
Exactly. We appreciate it when good things happen. Let's go, chat. Huzzah! So I was like, I'm going to keep this a secret, right? No one basically said anything. And I was like, all right, ship it to me. So the item got sent over. Now, this is the funny part. Ollie has been really busy recently, and I wanted to give it to her before she started getting really busy with work. But then the item took longer to ship because I guess, I don't know, shipping and problems, right? I was fine with that. It's whatever. I was like, you know what? I'll give it to her once she's free. So the item got sent. And then it got sent to the wrong address. Now that was when it started happening. So it got sent to the wrong address and I missed it because it was during our subathon. Like the item actually arrived at that wrong address during our subathon. So I completely missed the notification, etc. But then it got sent back, right? Because it's not the right thing. And then I got notified that basically our package was like waiting. And I was like, wait, what do you mean it's waiting? So I thought it was being delivered. And I was like, all right, whatever. Fast forward to the end of the subathon, I got a notification that the package was going to be returned to sender. And I was freaking out. I was like, what do you mean return to sender? Like, why? So now I have the subathon going on. And then I have my package issues. And I can't contact the package people, right? Because I'm on stream.
Shoujo task failed successfully.
True. So I was freaking out and then I asked help from my mom. I was like, Mom, I usually can do this myself, but I have subathon during the day. What do I do? So then my mom was like, all right, I'll help you out. And she was like, why are you so persistent on getting this package? I was like, no, mom, you don't get it. She was like, what's in the package? I was like, very important things, mother. And she was like, all right. So then she was helping me sort it out. And during one of them, she was like, you need to call, because it was shipped from America. Like, you need to call this phone number from America. And I was like, all right, bet. So then I called the phone number from America. And this is my first time experiencing customer service. Well, tele customer service from America. And I want to say, I don't know if this is mean or offensive. I just want to say, it's so dog shit, no offense. It is one of the worst 45 minutes of my life, okay? Because I got connected to what I thought was a person. And then their voice sounded weird. And I'm like, oh, it's an answering machine. Like, it's a robot. It's not a guy. But it kind of sounded like a guy. So I was like, all right. And they're like, press 1 if you want to talk about packages. Or like, press 2 if you want blah, blah. Press 3. Like that. So I was like, all right. I clicked 1. And then they were like, and they start speaking in like a different language. And they're like, something. And I'm like, shit. Why are they speaking in a different language? And then after that, they start speaking back into English. And they're like, press 1 if you want this. Press 2 if you want that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I pressed the number. And then they were like, is this like, if the inquiry is something to do with this, say yes. And I was like, well, keep in mind, here in my country, you click the numbers and then you get connected to people that can actually get your inquiry. But this is like you talk to the machine. And I was like, yes. And then they stayed quiet and they were like, sorry, could you please repeat that? And I was like, yes. And they were like, this is information, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, please, like basically I have to tell them the tracking number, right? And they were like, please say the first number. And I'm like, 0. And they're like, 0. Please say the second number. And I'm like, 1. Please say the third number. Like that. And at this point, it's coming to my realization, right? That I have to read the whole thing. Like, I have to read the whole thing, and then there's letters. And then I was like, how the fuck am I gonna do the letters? And they're like, please write the second to the last. Please say the second to the last number. And this is one thing that I'll never understand. There was one part of that whole thing that's like, I'm like, U. The letter was U, and there's the letter S, right? So it was like, please say this number. And I'm like, U. And they're like, U, as in United? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, understood. Please say this one. And I'm like, oh, S. And they're like, S. And I'm like, yes, like states. And they're like, S like Sierra? Let me repeat this shit, okay? You could say U as in United, S as in states. But they're like, U as in United, S Sierra? Sierra starts with a C. Their name is Sierra. And I was like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it.
My conspiracy theory is that they're intentionally designed to get you to hang up in frustration instead of getting your inquiry handled.
Agree.
And potentially costing the company money.
I agree. No, you're right. It's dog shit. We're supposed to be wealthy, but every company here always cheapens out whatever they can, including customer service. It is so ass. Michi, it's S. Brother, Sierra literally has the word C. C, the letter C. ABC. Sierra.
You got scammed.
C space
It
error.
was insane watching Maiko, Grand, Blaze, and Lulu running full sprint across Offkai during the last 2
my God.
hours of the convention. Also, a funny story, I was with Lulu in the Yabai market and she wasn't sure if Ollie would like the merch there, so I had to explain how much she would love the Yabai
That is true. She would love
Thank you
that.
so much Michi for planning this for Ollie, she means the world to us Zomrads and Zomili.
Oh,
Most
Zomrads
of
and
the time you can
Zomili.
get a live person if you speak so that the machine can't understand you a few times in a row.
Bro, the machine didn't understand me, right? And I was getting more and more angry. And I remember, because I was supposed to talk to, like,
Oh yeah?
Someone
Where's
afterwards.
the Z in xylophone,
No.
motherfucker? Huh? Michi, the system was using a half-assed version of the military alphabet. If you Google it, you'll see it. Sierra doesn't use a C, it's an S. No, it's great because you
Aww.
didn't select Spanish as your chosen language and then they asked you to use a Spanish word to verify.
Wait, what? C is Charlie. Well, I don't know this shit. Alright, point is, I had to go through that. And I spent 30 minutes alone spelling that out. And then, you know what? After 30 minutes, why it only lasted 45 minutes, right? After I said my tracking number, they literally responded with, your package is being returned back to the sender. For more information, say yes. And I'm like, yes.
By your logic,
What?
Singapore starts with CSMH.
Shut up, man. Shut up. But I was like, yes, wait, how do I like dispute it? And they were like, sorry, we do not have the information. For more information, say yes. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, what would you like to know? And I'm like, I want to receive my package. And they're like, sorry, we are unable to fulfill that request. For more information, please say yes. And I'm like, what can I do to help this package? And they're like, please contact the something customer service provider for more information. Would you like us to message the number of the customer service? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, understood. Please wait a moment. Sorry, your number is not within the United States. For more information, please say yes. Like, girl, I was just like, fuck you. I was like, that's it. It's, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's like, what can you do? Bro, I spent 45 minutes, right, for them to just read through the info on the fucking public website. So I'm like, we're cooked. We're cooked.
Oh yeah, it's Singapore with a C and Sumatra with a C. Oh wait.
No, but Sumatra is an S. You know what I mean? Whatever. Point is, you could have said U as in United, S as in States. Why did it was it United Sierra? Like, I'm calling customer service from the United States. Just say U as in United, S as in States. It makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was so confused. Low key, I will say the customer service was so ass. I won't even call it customer service, okay? Because I was talking to a fucking vending machine. I was literally talking to a speaking vending machine. At no point at my 45-minute call did they even redirect me to a human being. It was a machine. So I was like, huh? Either way, that was useless. And then I told my mama, I was like freaking out. And I was like, don't worry, I'll see what I can do. TLDR, my mom figured it out. And then we finally got our package 2 days after the subathon ends. And I was so grateful. I was like, oh, thank God. So the package was like being sent over. And I was like, great. And then I received the package, right? There were a lot of stuff. There was stuff for me. There was stuff for Kuro. And there was stuff for Ollie. And one of the hardest things to do, I guess because it got shipped to like the wrong address, it got moved around a lot. Some of the merch for like, some of our merch got mixed up. Because like, the way that it arrived was in a big box, but there were like pins that weren't in the packaging. They were like, there was one poster that got folded. Thankfully, it wasn't like that bad. Like I just kind of like straightened it out and that worked. But there were like some things that weren't on the package. So I can't tell who is for who. So I'm like trying to sort it out. I'm like, okay, Kuro merch is obviously for Kuro, but we also got some like Vshoujo merch. So I'm like, is this Vshoujo merch for me or for Kuro? You know what I mean? And then I got merch of like 3 of the same thing. So I'm like, is this for all 3 of us? Or is it like all 3 for one person? So there's like a lot of things. Like, I think in one of my packages, there were 3 of like the same keychain. Like my keychain. And I was like, is like one supposed to be for Kuro, one supposed to be for Ollie? Or like, you know, or is it all 3 for me? I can't tell. So I was like trying my best to figure it out. Eventually, I think I got it right. I hope so. So I was like preparing it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like make this neat. So I tidied it up. Like for Ollie's, right? We got a lot of letters and I'm so grateful. Because what happened was during the convention, our mods and Maiko were like walking around to get merch. But I told them to tell the vendors to like, hey, we're going to be sending this to Ollie. So if you have like any letters or you have any gifts or you have anything you want to have, like you want Ollie to have, give it to us. You know what I mean? And then I know that it's super last minute, so I actually did not expect too much, but there were a lot. Some of them were in an envelope, so I didn't read it, but some of them were like out in the open, so I did get to see like for Ollie. You know what I mean? Like, thankfully they wrote Dear Ollie, so I know that that letter was for Ollie. I was like, great. So then there were so many like sweet, sweet letters. One of the reasons I really wanted the letter part of the merch, Ollie is the type of person that really, really likes to see reassurance. You know what I mean? Like, Ollie likes to see handwritten stuff, sentimental gifts. You know what I mean? Like, a personalized letter is something that means a lot to her. So I'm like, okay, this would be a really nice thing. Because I also know that a lot of the Zomalies or like the Zombrads also have a lot of great things to say about her. So I'm like, okay, like send it over. I only expected like 2. We got a lot. So thank you so much for those of you that wrote a letter. I really appreciate that.
Michi must think the book, The Old Man and the Sea, is about an elderly man and the letter C. She'll say, what kind of Sesame Street letter of the day crap is this?
Listen, man, alright? Don't shame me for the fact that the fucking letters and pronunciation of the English language is confusing as shit. But I didn't expect that much letters.
The NATO phonetic alphabet is the most common form used by a large number of different countries besides just the United States to distinguish letters of the English language. The words are set. Go. A lot of the artists gave multiples, but I meant to give some out as gifts at the fan meetup. Smiley face emoji. But also tell Kuro he is stinky for waiting until last minute. BC Blaze and Maiko were sprinting around Artist Alley.
Wait, did Kuro do that? Was that what Kuro did? I haven't given Kuro... I'm probably gonna just like send it like today after stream, because I'm not gonna lie, I was so focused on like separating Ollie's. I kind of combined me and Kuro's because I can't tell. I do, you know what? I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna take the Vshoujo merch. Fuck you, Kuro. It's mine now.
The NATO phonetic alphabets are wrong. If they were using that, you would be uniform, not united.
They said you as in united. I remembered that very graphically because I was like you, and they're like you as in united, and I'm like yes, and they're like
on the last
all right.
day he told Maiko he wanted Kuro merch, so we had like 3 or 4 hours.
What the wait? Kuro relying on our team. This disgusting. I remembered that because they were like, please say the something something, and I'm like S like states, yeah, and they're like S as in Sierra, and I felt like I was so cool, and they took it away. I got one-upped by a fucking robot, and I got really sad.